It's my pleasure now to welcome to the stage to join me here Ms. Tamekia Smith. Tamekia provides administrative support to the You Matter program, which is a program in HR. And Tamekia, I'm new here, but even I know you're famous.
Oh, whatever.
You are famous. So you were a speaker at the first DiscoveryX presentation in 2016. But lots has happened since then, right?
Yes.
Grab your mic and fill us in.
So, like he said, I was a speaker here at the 2016 DiscoveryX. I talked about social determinants, overcoming social determinants, and I kind of shared my story. From there, somebody had saw me speaking here, and they sent me the application for TEDx Columbus. And so I was like, it was one thing to do DiscoveryX, but this is TEDx Columbus. Are you serious? And I did DiscoveryX because I felt like there was no way I was ever going to make it to the red carpet TED stage. So I was like, this is close enough, so I'll do this. And so when she sent me the TEDx Columbus, I'm like, are you serious? And so I filled it out, and I filled it out afraid. I tell people that all the time, and I press send afraid, but I did it. And so when they told me that I was selected for TEDx Columbus, like she'll tell you, I just bust out crying, like right there. And she's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I might need to go to the doctor, but I'm good. So that was exciting in and of itself. And so after I do that, I go to Opera in the Lobby, right? And because I love like all performing arts. And so I go to Opera in the Lobby, and I'm talking to this lady just like I'm talking to you, and I'm telling her, yeah, I just did TEDx Columbus, and it was amazing. And she was like, oh, you should do the real TED. And I'm like, ma'am, this is huge, TEDx Columbus. I just did this. What are you talking about? And so she was very persistent. She was a sweet lady, but I just felt like she was talking in her own privilege, just to be honest. And but she was so sweet, and she kept going at it, You really should do this. And she got on her phone, and she looked at the frequently asked questions, and everything that I had a reason not to do it, she was finding why I should do it. And I'm like, okay. So I couldn't get her out of my head, and so, again, I applied, afraid. So Ted calls me in New York, and I'm like, what? What, for real? What you want? And they're like, okay, so we got your application. And I'm like, I got denied. They're like, no, we need to talk to you about, some points that you made. And so I'm like, so I got selected? They're like, yeah. So I go.
So I should mention that that's selected to go to New York, 13 people out of 1,200 videos submitted.
Yeah.
She was one of 13.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So it gets even realer once I get there, because I'm finding out the other 12 people are like these amazing people, right? They're like engineers, and they're like forensic scientists, and they're like, doing all this amazing stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm amazing too in my own right. But at the same time, I'm like, I just thank them for this free New York trip, because the purpose of the New York was to find somebody for Canada. And so for me, it was like, okay, I'm grateful just for the New York. I came back here, honestly, came back to work, was telling people about New York, and was very grateful. I checked my email, and it said in the subject line, congratulations. And I just lost it. Because, they're not, if it's a denial, they're not going to say congratulations, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I am really about to go to Canada. I'm really about to go to the TED stage. Yeah. And so that was amazing. Once I get there, it was like first class ticket. I'm in first class like, Which was so interesting because
that's how we all travel for business, right? We all get that.
Right. I'm sitting there like, I know I'm supposed to be here. And it's funny because I'm sitting there, and then one of the other people that's going to be a presenter at the TED comes on, and she's like, oh my God, I know you. And I'm like, no, you don't. And she was like, I do. She said, I saw your TEDx Columbus talk. And it was just amazing to me that she had did her research, and that she had this knowledge of feeling like she knew me just from my talks or whatever. And so that was just, once I got there, it was all first class from there. Like, I'm sitting amongst people who are like CEOs and executives, and we're just chatting it up. I had one of the best conversations with the atheist. He was like, I'm a raging atheist. I'm like, I'm a raging Christian. He was like, okay, good. So let's talk. Yeah. And it was amazing because I think we empowered each other, and I left still being an amazing Christian. He probably left still being an amazing atheist, but we learned how to respect who we were as in diversity, and as people. So it was just that whole setting And the experiences that I've had there was just amazing. I almost got put out the hotel because I was practicing my talk, and a lady came and knocked on the door, and she was like, "Can you please be quiet?" I'm not going to jail in Canada, so I'm going to be quiet, ma'am.
We got to show up the next day.
Yeah. So,
well, congratulations.
Thank
That is
you.
absolutely fantastic. So you've served a couple of different roles. How long have you worked here?
I've been at Children's for like 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about the various roles you've had, and just maybe how the hospital has supported you.
Absolutely.
And, how that led you to take this big jump.
So I started as a temp, and a lot of people don't know that. I started as a temp. I came through a temp agency, and I was at the Behavioral Health Clinic, one of the close-to-home centers. And from there, because I'm the kind of person that'll take a challenge, and so from there, they had me going from, like, all of the close-to-home centers that was, like, in that Main Street area. So I worked in psychology. I worked in psychiatry, I should say. And I worked in the crisis center and a couple of the other areas for behavioral health. And then I came over to the main hospital. I actually started working at, there was a project that was here with Children's and Franklin County Children's Services, so I was able to do that as well for a season. And then when they lost that contract, I went and came back here. Coming back here, I went to the Office of Health Equities, where I met some amazing women who were played the role of mentoring, and which is the real reason why I was able to go to, or the subject that I spoke on at the Real TED was about what I learned at the Office of Health Equity and just working with those ladies who were just amazing mentors, like I said, and giving me everything that I needed, to be able to stand up and talk and say that. After that, I came 100% to the You Matter program, where I support the You Matter program and our 5 initiatives that we have for the employees that's here. And obviously, Children's every step of the way has made that a very smooth transition because they don't stunt your growth. And so I love that. And even having something like this, like the DisCOVERYx discussion, and allowing people to become on this stage is amazing, because it was this video that actually was in the hands of other people. So after I did the DisCOVERYx, I was getting speaking opportunities that were paying hundreds of dollars just in the city alone. And so that's because Children's allowed a program like this to take place and allowed us to have a voice on the stage.
That's fantastic. Well, maybe just as a follow-up to that, so how has your life changed? I mean, it's a dream for probably several of us to stand on the TED stage and give one of those talks. I can't imagine that you just sort of like come back to Columbus. It's life as usual after you've done that. After you've flown first class, there's no going back,
it was
right?
a struggle. It was a struggle because
like,
I came back here and my boss was like, "Tamekia, you still work here?"
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going somewhere. So it was a struggle, but it's been good because right now I'm taking my time and I'm doing a lot of great things that I want to produce in its season. And so I'm allowing my season of even still being here to be a season of being cultivated, I think, in what I'm trying to do. I am writing a book. I'm writing 2 books, actually, right? And so the first book is called Take the Stage, which is obvious because I love speaking. I've been speaking over 20 years. And so I'm taking that knowledge, those experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly about the stage, and I'm kind of put them in a book. And then I'm also writing a book called True Story: Overcoming Social Determinants through mentoring and through mentoring and creative arts, because the creative arts and mentors have been the reason why I'm been able to overcome the social determinants that I've dealt with. Yeah. And so what I'm doing is I'm making my pain profitable, to be honest. And seriously, because if you're gonna cry, get some money from it. Yeah. So, and I'm doing that and I mean that from a really real sense, though. I mean it from, like, because I become so passionate about it. It's no sense in me going through what I went through and not allowing somebody else to, heal from my own experiences.
That makes sense.